Hi everyone, my name's Peter from 10 Minutes or Under, and today I'm going to show you some cool effects that you can do in Microsoft PowerPoint. Here we have the finished presentation. You can see it's just a fairly plain background at the moment, and on our first click you see the picture fly in, second click another picture, third click, then on our fourth click left hand picture moves to the front and gets slightly bigger while the other two fade out, and then fifth and final click picture moves back to where it was, the original size, and the other two pictures fade back in again. So let's look at how we actually do that. So I'll just set up a new presentation here, so blank presentation, and we'll delete those two things because nobody ever uses them. And first of all we're going to insert our three pictures. So here we go. Now they're a little bit too big there, so I'm just going to shrink them down to a more useful size. There we go, and we're just going to roughly put them where we want. And now you can see that this middle picture is the different shapes, they're not the same size as the other one, so I want them all the same. So I'm just going to line this up with the one there, and we just snap it to the same size. You can see the little line appear. There we go, so that's now the same width. I just move it over to the side, and they're now just make sure they're aligned in the middle. Yes, they are. So if I just select this one, I go to Format and Crop, I can now make it the same height as well without squashing my little penguin picture. And there we go. So we've now got the same width and same height. Now, to get all of these aligned nicely, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. So if you have only a few pictures, you can line them up and just use the snap to point line. But if you had loads on there, it might take a long time. So we've just got to align and middle. There we go, that's all three of those aligned. But I also want them aligned into the middle of the page. Now, if you select multiple objects and align middle, then they all just align to themselves. If I make them a group like that, that's one object I've got now. So if I go to align middle now it's aligned to the middle of the page. We can then just ungroup it as well. Now, for those really picky people, you'll notice the space between these is not exactly the same. You can try and guess, but a better way of doing it is select them all again and go up to align and then distribute horizontally. There we go. They're now evenly spaced. And also, if I did want to group them again, because it's getting really picky now, if I align and then center, they're now in the middle of the page. So just ungroup them. Now what we want to do is create the nice reflection effect they had on them. So we'll go up to shape effects. There's millions of different things in here you can do, but we'll go reflection. You see the different types. I think we'll go for that one. There we go, so that's quite nice. And now what we want to do is put the background color on. So let's go format background, and we want a gradient fill, and let's make that white, and let's make that one white as well. So there we go, and you can play with those as much as you like. It's beginning to look quite nice, but of course now we want to put the actual animations on. So we're going to go to the Animations tab, and I suggest, if it's not there already, select Animation Pane, so it appears on the right there. And then we want all of the pictures to fly in from the bottom of the screen. So we select all three, and we're going to go up to this little button here. And the one we want isn't one of the standard ones, so we're going to go to More Entrance Effects. And if you scroll down, it's under the Exciting section, and it's called Curve Up, the one I'm going to use. You can see it previewing in the background there. So if we just select F5 now and first click, they all just come in at once like that. It's already looking nice, but we can make it look a lot better. So first of all, I don't want them all coming in at the same time. So if we select the middle one, and we're going to go start on click. At the moment it's start with previous. It's all starting with that first one. So start on click, and then this one we'll do the same, start on click. So now they're going to come in 1, 2 and 3, and I don't want them in that order actually, so I'm going to move the second picture down to the bottom. So now it's going to be the green apple, then the blue windows, and then the orange Linux picture come in that order. After they come in, we want this picture to move towards the front and get slightly larger. So we have to do this in a couple of different stages. So we're going to go add animation. It's already got one animation on it, so we're going to go to add animation, and then we're going to go down to the bottom here and we're going to select lines under motion paths. It's set to just go down in a straight line. We don't want that. So we select here and we're going to do, let's move it, you can go right on the end and then we'll move it over here. So if we go F5 now, we get 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now if you look carefully, you'll notice that this picture is fading behind that one, and also when this last picture came in, it went behind the Windows one over here. So we're going to move this one to the front, bring to front, and then we're going to bring this one to the front as well. So now this one is in front of that one, and that one is in front of that one. So if we do this again, F5, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. We also want this picture to get slightly bigger as well. So we go add animation, and we want under emphasis grow and shrink. Okay, so we go to effect options. We don't want it to grow by 150%, that's a bit too much. So we're just going to go 125%, hit enter. Okay, and because we want it growing at the same time as it's moving forward, we'll select this, go start with previous. So now these two will happen at the same time. So just F5, see where we are, 1, 2, 3, and growing and moving to the front. Awesome. We also want these two fading out a little bit at the same time. So again, they've already got animations, so we're going to go add animation, and then we're going to go to transparency. That, and we've got them both selected. We go to effect options, and we're just going to set 25% transparency, and we want them happening at the same time as the moving forward and getting bigger things. So all four of those now happen at the same time. Now what we also want is, after it's done all that, on the next click, we want this to move back to its original position and get smaller again. So again, we go to add animation, and we go to lines, and just let it do that annoying little thing, and then we're going to select this line, drag it over to the exact same spot. There we go. Then we're going to right click on it, and we're going to reverse path direction, so it goes back. Then last animation, you've still got it selected, so animation and grow or shrink, but by default it's set to grow, so we need to effect options, and if we increased it by 125%, if you do your maths here, you will realise that you need to shrink it to 80% to get it back to its original size. Okay, and don't be alarmed that it looks smaller there, it's just that's what it does. So now we want the shrinking to start with the moving backwards. Okay, and the last thing we want to do is select the two transparency animations we put in for these two slides, because at the moment those will stay transparent forever. So we select those two, do timing, and we go, instead of until end of slide, we go until next click. There we go. Okay, now let's look. F5, 1, 2, 3, moving forward, getting bigger. Those two have gone a bit transparent, and then last click, they come back out of transparent and it moves back to where it began. Thank you very much for watching.